What's up, everybody? So let's talk about Tory Lanz. Tory Lanz's driver finally provides a witness statement. He claims that Kelsey grabbed the piece and Tory tried to wrestle it from her when Meg was pops. But the appeal court won't accept it as new evidence because Tory's legal team declined to call him as a witness during the trial. A few weeks ago, a California appeal court did approve Tory to present new evidence. However, this statement from the driver wasn't approved as new evidence because Tory's lawyer declined to use him as a witness during the trial. In court documents, the court told Tory that they knew what Jaquan Smith's testimony would be when they decided not to use it and rested their case. Jaquan says he wanted to testify, but he was told that due to holidays and court schedules, they wouldn't be using him. But according to new court documents submitted as part of Tory's appeal for his 10-year prison sentence, Tory's driver, Jaquan Smith, stated that Meg and Tory were arguing in the car on the night of the shooting, which was July 12th of 2020. So let's get into these court documents. He said, "I was the driver and bodyguard of Mr. Daystar Peterson, who is better known as Tory Lanez, in July of 2020. Mr. Peterson has been known to me for 7 years. And at the time of the incident, I had worked for Mr. Peterson for 3 years. He has not only been my employer, but I also consider him as to be a close friend. On July 12, 2020, I was asked to drive Mr. Peterson to the home of Kylie Jenner, where Miss Megan Pete and Kelsey Harris were present. Mr. Peterson was at Miss Jenner's home for approximately 2 hours when I received a call to come pick up Miss Pete and Miss Harris. Miss Pete, Miss Harris, and myself left Miss Jenner's home, but I was asked by Miss Pete to return because she stated that she had forgotten a shoe. When we arrived at Miss Jenner's home at that time, Miss Harris stayed in the car while Miss Pete exited. Miss Pete did not enter the home at this time as she went around the back to the pool area where Mr. Peterson was located. Both Miss Pete and Mr. Peterson returned to the car after a few minutes. Miss Pete was bickering, but I am unsure of the exact words she was saying. She seemed upset. The four of us left Miss Jenner's residence. As I began to drive, Miss Pete started to fight with Mr. Peterson. They were going back and forth. I remember Mr. Peterson saying to Miss Pete that he was going to tell Miss Harris what was going on. I do not remember what street we were on, but Miss Pete asked me to stop the vehicle. I did as she asked, and Miss Pete went to sit on the nearby bus stop. Mr. Peterson went and spoke with Miss Pete. After about 2 minutes, they returned to the car and I began driving again. Miss Pete started the argument again, and Miss Harris asked what was going on. Mr. Peterson told her that he and Miss Pete had been dating and intimate. Miss Harris was upset by this, as she and Mr. Peterson had been dating in the same manner. Prior to any relationship with Miss Pete and Miss Harris began fighting. I pulled over to stop them. Miss Pete and Miss Harris both got out of the vehicle and continued to fight, both verbally and physically. I broke up this fight and was pulling Miss Pete toward the back of the car. I saw Miss Harris with a gun in her hand. Mr. Peterson ran from behind Miss Pete and myself toward Miss Harris. Mr. Peterson and Miss Harris began struggling as Mr. Peterson tried to unarm Miss Harris. I was still pulling Miss Pete and did not see who shot the weapon. I was lucky I was not harmed, and in my opinion, Miss Pete was also fortunate. The whole incident happened so quickly within just a couple of minutes. I wanted to present the evidence during Mr. Peterson's trial, but was prevented from doing so as the district attorney was not ready to cross-examine me, and later they did not call me due to the holidays and court schedule. I believe I should have been allowed to present this evidence at trial. Okay, so that was Jaquan's account of what happened that night. And he did say that Kelsey had the piece in her hand, and her and Tory were struggling and fighting over the piece. Okay, and so he tried to get Megan out of the way. And while he was getting Megan out of the way, he heard a gunshot, and then Megan was popped in her foot. He did not see who popped the gun. So they don't know who did what. And as a matter of fact, it could have been both of them that popped her in the foot. Tory and Kelsey was struggling over the gun, right? Would it be safe to say that both of them popped Megan in the foot? Or do y'all think it's safe to say that Kelsey was the one who popped Megan, since it did come out that Kelsey had some gunpowder residue on her hands? So, hey, we don't know, okay? But what we do know is that Tory and Kelsey were struggling over that piece before Megan got popped, though. Now, my thing is this, okay? If Tory did not do it, he should open his mouth and say, "I listen, this bitch right here, the one who popped Megan, I didn't." Okay, and I know a lot of dudes be wanting to talk about no snitching, street codes, and things like that. But I'm just saying, Tory got children, and he should have been thinking about his kids, and he would be free right now if he would have just said, "Listen, I didn't do it. Kelsey did it." And like Cat Williams said, if Tory don't want to say that Kelsey did it, then he did it. Point blank, period. Okay? And we all know that Tory himself did say that Kelsey didn't do it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's on him. And either way, he probably was trying to protect Megan. He was trying to protect Kelsey. But listen, dude, you had kids. Neither Kelsey or Megan had kids at the time. Now, I do think Kelsey may have a child right now. But at the time, they didn't have no kids. You did, sir. So I would have been like, I ain't do that. Forget all that junk. And you know you're not a citizen of the United States already. And you over here not supposed to be carrying guns or be around guns. Bruh, you over here not opening your mouth, that's on you, sir. I hate to say it. But hey, listen. And it's still kind of crazy that Megan and Kelsey was fighting over this short little leprechaun man. Okay? I'm like, what? Like, y'all fighting over this ninja. It is crazy to me. Okay? And so from what I gather, even though Megan is the victim, Megan was trifling too, because Megan knew that Kelsey and Tory was doing their thing. Megan knew that Kelsey and Tory was, knocking the boots or whatever. And Tory is trifling too, because he knew that Megan and Kelsey were friends, but then he knocking the boots with Megan. That's a big old love triangle. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. But as far as Megan and Kelsey fighting over him, child, I wouldn't have fought over no man. Never have, never will. Gonna fight over a man. I'm serious. Never. And truth be told, he really wasn't paying neither one of them any attention, because when he trying to get with Kylie, child, I don't know. But either way, the whole situation was crazy, right? Okay, so what are your thoughts about this whole situation with Jaquan coming out and giving his account of what happened that night when Megan got popped? Who y'all really think did it? Was it Kelsey? Was it Tory? Or was it both of them? Y'all know what y'all gotta do. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Share this video, like this video. And y'all know what y'all gotta do. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye.